Good afternoon, everyone, here from Three Rivers Athletic Complex in Baldwinsville, New York. It's a broadcast of 12U youth hockey between the Lysander Lightning and the Massena Junior Raiders. Good afternoon, everybody. Killian Heffron here. Normally we'll be joined alongside by Brian Heffron, but he's on camera today. And we have this matchup here between these two 12U squads. Lysander coming into this game here, we'll have a look at their recent schedule. And their last time, they've been on a bit of a slide. Most recent win came against Clinton a few weeks ago in a very odd series that saw them lose to the Clinton the weekend prior, but come back the next week and had a big win in a game which was broadcasted here on KSN. Besides that, the other win in their last 10 was against Ithaca. And through the rest of it, it's been a tough stretch. Now, Lysander in this 12U Tier 2 Central Section division for states this year, to try to qualify for states, it's very tightly packed at the top. Rome, New Hartford, Skinny Atlas, and Camillus all come to mind when you think about that. All very talented squads, and the Lightning have given them a lot of trouble this year, but ultimately just haven't been able to pull out any wins in those games. Looking to turn things around here following their loss this morning to Rome as they take on the Massena Junior Raiders. Massena comes into this game at 26-2 following their win this morning over Valley. Here's a look at the roster for Lysander. Head coach Jason Heindorf, assistants Jason Daigle, Drew Farley, Brian DeVenny, and Matthew Poirier. I'll give you a second longer to look here at this roster. And with that, at final buzzer before this one, Lysander wearing their home white, Massena in their road red. Lightning coming into this game today of a tie and a loss already on the weekend. Tied Central yesterday and lost to Rome 4-2 this morning. With that, we will get ready here for the beginning of this one. Once again, Lysander listed on the scoreboard as blue, Massena on the scoreboard as red. And waiting here for Lysander to break the opening huddle. Shout out to my mother, Melissa Heffron, today controlling the live cameras and the score bug. It's her first time, so don't cut her some slack. And here we go. On the draw is Mia Tarbell for Massena, matched up against Jay Skellett. In goal for Lysander is Robert Austin starting out and Gavin Jordan for Massena. Opening faceoff taken and won by Skellett, where it's picked up by Chavain. Chavain steps to the side and dumps it on in. Tarbell is down there to play that one. Tarbell along the side, makes a move on it, comes up the wall. Dumped back into the zone. Comes over. Heindorf trying to get a plan. That's picked up by Peters, who sends it up. Tarbell tried to corral that one, but it gets sent forward by the Lightning instead. Picked up. Cook tried to play that one in. It's picked off by Lysander. Here's Blake Savicki from the side. Savicki cuts through, but it's taken away by Poirier behind the Massena net. Good poke there by Ben Heindorf. Heindorf tries to pop it out to the middle. Centering pass there, intercepted, and it gets chipped up to the point. DeBuono steps in, dumps it back down. On this one now is Joel Peters. Peters ships around Savicki at the side of the net. Couldn't get that one to go. Battled for around the side. Savicki continuing to make a move, and nothing going there. Sent to the middle. That one got blocked here. Skellett takes it around the corner. Skellett goes around behind the net, searching for an option. He will stop at the bottom of the circle. Gets brought down, and now it's taken away by Massena, and they will skate this one into neutral ice. Here's Brody Poirier. Dumps this one down in. Massena going for a line change. Lightning will break out of their zone. Robert Austin getting his first action of the day there. Kind of stick that one away over to DeBuono. DeBuono's pass made up to Heindorf, who dumps this one down in. Heffron in pursuit of this for Lysander, and that's taken by Carter Hebb. Hebb tried to get to that one. Heffron still making a play on it. Pass comes up to the point. Here's DeVinny made a move, or excuse me, Pearson. Brady Pearson there with the attempt for Lysander. Ultimately, this will be iced by Massena. Lysander picks up an offensive zone faceoff. 13:07 left to go in this first period of action. Heffron on the draw. It's won by Massena. Webb picks it up, or excuse me, Hebb behind the net. Chipped up the wall. Trying to get on that was Pearson. Spino nearly got to that. Pearson at the point, sends it across, but that's going to be out of the zone. Here's Dillon. Sends it up for Spino. Spino into the offensive zone, looks over, finds Heffron. Heffron walks in, shooting one, and that one goes off the shoulder of Gavin Jordan and out. Played around on the behind by Massena. They tried to break this one out of their zone. It comes up and it's picked up by the Junior Raiders. Here's Baldwin into the offensive zone. Timmy Baldwin stepped into that one. Fries tries to get in there as well for Massena. Everyone battling for this, which is kind of just stuck there in space. It's picked up by Karsten Heffron. Heffron makes a move. He cuts to the side. Heffron stops, surveys his options, and ends up just sending this one around down low where it's picked off by Massena, and they'll try to break out again. That's intercepted there by Hawthorne, who shot the flex high over the net. Played along the side by Massena. Dillon at the point tries to dig at this one to keep it in. It gets played around. Here's Hawthorne. Centering pass comes up to the point. Davini makes a step over. Or excuse me, Chavain. It's the second time I've miscalled someone and thought it was Colin Davini. This comes on in for Massena. 2-on-1. Moving in. Shot. They score! And Massena takes a 1-0 lead off the shot from Carter Hebb. And Lysander early on here in a bit of a hole. But a big start there for Massena. Hebb was able to break down and rip the shot top shelf on Austin. Nothing really he could do there. That was just a really strong shot. And he was able to fake where he was going with it. Here's Wheeler trying to break down low. Gets chipped away to the side. And now skating around with this one are the Lightning. Here's Poirier down low for Lysander battling for this one. He's knocked down along the wall. And it'll be picked up by Massena as they try to make a clearance. Able to get this one out to the neutral zone. Here comes Horan. Parker Horan from the side. Turns, looks for an option in the middle. That got picked off. And now the Lightning will take possession back in their own end. The risky pass nearly was intercepted right in the slot by Massena. But it ultimately just ended up getting by them. There's a big collision as I believe that was number 90, Styles Collins, went into Thomas Chavain. And here is Wheeler into the neutral zone. Wheeler just carry this one into the offensive zone. Oh, and finally gets stepped up on. He gets around and he scores! Ryan Wheeler with that one. Able to kind of ramp it off the goalie sticking in. And that'll make it 1-1, tie game. Battling for this one. Here's Peters off the draw. It comes along to the side. Cook fires this one in. Picked up by Lachlan Dillon. Dillon lost that one in her skates, had to turn around, but she was able to find it. And here comes Jay Skellett. Skellett, a long drive. That one is stopped and held by Jordan. 10:24 left to go in the first period of action. Lysander with a response to that early goal from Massena. This game tied at 1. Skellett on the draw, one and off to the side, and kind of went in a blind spot, so I couldn't see what happened. Regardless, Massena gets out of the zone. Here's DeBlono. Peters in pursuit of it. And a long pass up by DeBlono will be intercepted in the neutral zone by Massena. This gets chipped forward. Making a move on that was Cook, but she was unable to get that one by. Here's Skellett, makes a move around. Skellett cuts forward, makes a good move, and now Skellett into the neutral zone. Has Savicki with him, lost it for a second. Massena was able to take advantage of it and strip the puck. It comes the other way. Bank pass taken by Savicki, who battles for it at the wall. Savicki, for most of the season so far, was a defender. Moved up recently to play forward here on this line with Skellett. This is brought forward and sent down in by Peters. It goes wide, where Dillon will retrieve it behind the net. Dillon makes the pass up to Heindorf. Heindorf looks and fires, intended for Skellett, but it's picked off, but an offside will save the Lightning there. as Castleman was still in the zone when Baldwin brought that one in. Heffron on the draw with Castleman. Takes the face off, and it's won by Heffron. Dillon brings up the side. She'll chip this forward. Spino tried to step in, and it gets chipped the other way. Baldwin made a play on that. Poirier had to come in. Dillon with a big hit from there, knocking down Poirier, who looks to be okay. Battled for along the wall. Heffron tries to get to that one. It's picked off by Spino, who brings this one forward. Spino makes the chip up, intended for Pearson, but they could not connect. Pearson's pass intercepted by Heffron at the point, but he couldn't bring it in. And now it comes out the other way. Picked off by Rocco Spino, who dumps this one down in. And now Lysander in on the forecheck. Heffron down low, turns, banks up to the point. Chavain with time steps in. The shot there was snagged and held. By Jordan. Face-off now coming. Taken and won by Massena. They bring it forward. Good chip there by Horan. Horan now moves on in, has DeBuono on him. Horan gets by, and the shot might have grazed the toe there of Robert Austin. A close call there. And here's Wheeler the other direction. Wheeler, a 3-on-2, makes a move. Wheeler gets in and had it poked away at the last second. Massena now looking for a stretch pass. It's picked off by Hawthorne. Sent over, turning around is Wheeler, gives it over to Poirier. Down low, and it comes out of the zone. Here's Chavain. Sends it back to DeBuono. DeBuono fires it up. Here's Wheeler. It's dumped in. And here's Poirier again. Poirier sends it over to Hawthorne. Hawthorne's centering pass picked off. And now coming out the other direction, here's Horan. Makes his way into the offensive zone. Chipped around down low. DeBuono tries to step into that one. Battled for down low. Picked up by Massena as they try to get some offensive pressure going. Clearing attempt did not work, as Hawthorne has to regroup now back in his own zone. Makes the pass up for Wheeler. Wheeler fires it ahead, up to Chavain. Chavain up to Poirier. Poirier takes a long shot that deflects and is held by Jordan. 7:10 left to go in the first frame. Nothing going on either side really since those first two goals to open up this game. 1-1 tie. On the draw now was Savicki. It was taken and won by Massena. Skelet chips it forward, got blocked on the way in. Now played around down low. Here is Savicki. Gets chipped over, intercepted, trying to come out the other way. Savicki makes a move on it, turns, does some Mohawks, and now it's sent over, they score! Jay Skelet with the slap shot to get that one by. It's 2-1 Lysander. Savicki, he did a really good Mohawk move there with his feet, was able to find separation and get that one over to Skelet, who positioned himself well. Able to put that by. 2-1 Lysander now. In the final game of the weekend for both squads. 5th game down here in the Syracuse area for this Massena team this weekend. Long pass up that's going to be intercepted by the Junior Raiders in the neutral zones. They try to gain zone entry. Heindorf sends this up, it's picked off, and making a move on that one, it gets dumped in by Cook. Down low, Dillon picks it up. Dillon looks for a stretch pass maybe, ends up giving it off to Heindorf. Heindorf up to Skelet, who mishandled it, and this will get sent down low. No icing. Here's Poirier behind his net. Looks up the ice, makes a move. Good move by Poirier there to stay on that one. It gets chipped up. Heffron tried to get in there. It's picked up now by Savicki, who turns around. Savicki's still on this one. He's forced down. Stuck in his feet, I think. There it comes. There's Heffron with it. Tries to chip it up to the point there. Or a bit of a bad read there by Heffron as he looked for the point, but it was blocked. Great positioning there by Massena in the defensive zone to prevent that. Now also will be sent up out of the zone. Here's Chavain. Sent forward. Savicki trying to get back to this. Making a move on that one. It was picked off by the Lightning, but now immediately turned over again. And comes Poirier. Had to dodge the bump attempt there from Heindorf, who battles through some physical play there, but it comes back the other direction. Here comes Massena to the offensive zone. It's Castleman from the side. Castleman shoots one! Oh, he had open space, but Austin able to get his blocker up to turn that one aside. It comes back up to the point, sent down low. Chavain behind his own net makes a move, and will chip this one up and out of the zone, becoming an icing against Lysander. 5:02 left in the first period of play. Faceoff will come back into the Lightning zone. 2-1. Lysander is our score. Faceoff taken by Heffron. He wins it forward. And it gets chipped by. Now it's a 3-on-1 for Lysander. Spino moving in. Has Heffron on him. Pearson sends it over for Pearson. And it was turned away. Great defense there by Massena to get back. Up to the point. DeBuono drives that one on. It deflects wide. From the side, Heffron tries to step up. Makes a move. Comes up to the point. DeBuono tried to send that one back to Heffron. It got by him. Pearson picks up behind his own net. Sent up to Spino, who initially mishandles it. Then gives up to Chavain, who sends a drive right back into Spino. And Rocco Spino able to take that one away, but it'll come out of the zone here. Opportunity maybe for Massena, but they were unable to corral it. Here's Heffron, dumps it off for DeBuono. DeBuono on the wall, and the pass came up, did not work out there for the Lightning. Here's Spino, dumps this one down in, able to get by. And so some line changes here for the Lightning. 3:55 left to go in the first frame of action. 2-1 our score. Hawthorne there driven into the wall. It gets sent around down low. Hawthorne takes a drive. Nothing going there. Battle for over, and here comes Massena sent forward. Makes a move. Hebb. This gets sent up. Here's Poirier. Good solid play there by Massena there, or good use of the competitive contact rule to rub the Lightning off of that puck. It's always impressive when you can see a team be able to take advantage of that rule and use it to their advantage. Obviously, you can't body check, but if you're able to not commit to the body, and you can still use your body to rub them off the puck, and that was a great job there by Massena of doing so as the shot came on net was held by Jordan. 3:07 left to go in this first period of action. Skellett on the draw, tries to make a move forward. It gets sent up to the point. DeBuono initially lost control of it, and that one's able to send it over to Savicki, who sends that one high into the glove of Jordan. 2:58 left in this first period. We get some line changes here for the Lightning. Or no, I guess not. Looked like the door was about to open, and then it ultimately did not. So line changes for Massena, not for Lysander. The Skellett, Savicki, and Heindorf line stays out on the ice for the Lightning, and for good reason. They've been solid so far today. Obviously, Lysander leading on the scoreboard, but they've had a solid amount of the offensive time possession. This line's been a major part of that. Chip forward, and here comes Massena into the offensive zone. Cook stops, and then will try to shoot one, did not go. Skellett tries to drive this one up the wall, and he was met there by Massena. Sent forward. Heindorf makes a long pass up, intended for Savicki, takes a bounce right into his stick. Savicki made a move, couldn't get that one to go. Driven up the wall, blocked by Skellett, and now down low, here's Poirier taking it. 2:10 left to go in this opening frame. Poirier still looking for a way to get rid of this one. Battled for on the side, trying to find this one on the boards, and now it's taken out by Savicki, who went down trying to make a move. Dillon dumps this one back down low. Penalty upcoming here, and it's going to be against Massena. So Lysander to the power play, and we'll see who they're going to bring. And it looks like it's going to be Brody Poirier going to the box here for a roughing. So the Lightning pick up their first power play of this one. First penalty at all today. Heffron on the draw. Face-off is won by Massena. They bring it up on the half boards. Now getting through, and Lysander able to take that one away, but that was a bit of a dangerous opportunity for Massena if they could have gotten free. Here's Dylan from the side. 1:35 left to go. Dylan turns and didn't have anything to, and there's Spino shot there denied. In front, kind of just took a weird bounce out to him. Here's Heffron. Plenty of time, gives it up to Chavain. Chavain walks in, sends one on goal. Save made there by Jordan. Now up to Chavain again at the point. Chavain steps in, shoots one on net. That'll be trapped and held by Jordan. Looking for rebounds there with the Lightning, but we're unable to get them. 1:13 left to go. We'll get some line changes here from both squads. Wheeler on the draw. Face-off taken one by Wheeler. Sent up the wall. And now it's picked up by Wheeler again. Makes a move. Wheeler still on this one. Chavain from the side. Chavain walks on in. Sent down low. Wheeler tried that one. Was looking top left. And a shot just went wide. Now here's Poirier. Tries to bring that one in the middle. And actually was able to succeed in doing so. Got a nice bounce. Chavain at the point. Sent back up, and this will go down the ice. Will not become an icing as I won't make it. Here's Dylan turning around. Moves forward, finds Chavain. Chavain sends it up into the offensive zone. Trying to get that one is Wheeler, who's able to get Massena off the puck. Taken down there is Hawthorne. He'll draw a penalty. As Hawthorne kind of just flew in there and ended up tripping over the stick of a Massena player. So this will make it a very brief 5-on-3 for the Lightning. And it'll be Carter Hebb going to the box. And so 3 seconds of 5-on-3 for Lysander, and that face-off win by Massena will kill off that time. It comes up to the point. DeBono, great hold in, and now it's sent back down low, slapped up the wall. 10 seconds left to go in the first period. Chavain from the side walks in. Chavain to the middle. One-timer save made there. What an attempt by Skell, looking for his second one-timer goal of the day, and that will be it for the first period of play. Lysander and Massena tied at 1. Or excuse me, Lysander have a 2-1 lead. So overall there for Lysander and their solid period, they were able to do a great job holding in the offensive zone, and the man advantages at the end definitely helped. And Massena had several strong chances and were able to put one by. About 30 seconds left here to go in the intermission, so we will take a look here at some of the stat comparison between these two teams. Coming into the weekend, this was coming into the weekend, not current, Massena sat at 19-7-2, 71.4% win percentage, and with 110 goals and 61 goals against, and only 26 games played. Lysander, 18-13-3, 57.3 win percentage, and in their 34 games played so far this season, 150 goals for, and 126 goals against. And with that here ready to get started for the second period of action, Lysander still have 109 of a power play left to go here in this second period of action. So we will see what they try to do to start off. DeBuono trying to make a move. Was nearly picked off there by Tarbell. Or Tarbell for Massena. DeBuono sends this one across. Brought forward into the neutral zone. Looking over, here's Skellett. Skellett dumps this one down in deep. Trying to get to that one is Chavain down low. Chavain tries to step into this. It's picked up by Massena. They'll bring it forward. And a big collision there at the point. Just kind of momentum carrying them into each other. And this will be iced by the Raiders. So Lysander will get an offensive zone faceoff. Something fell into the ice that the official is now handing back onto the bench. .25 seconds remaining on this penalty kill for the Raiders, and they currently have, there we go. They didn't have enough people on the ice. We're able to get rush one on just before the draw. Savicki battling for this one on the side. He sends it to the middle. Here's Chavain turning, firing, goes wide. Skellett makes a move, turning. Skellett again behind the net up to the point. Here's the Buono. Shoots one, it gets stopped on the way in. Savicki had a chance at that, but was knocked off at the last second. Savicki again, there's a good move, centering pass blocked. And now Massena will try to break out of their own zone, and they do. And in pursuit is Tarbell. She'll beat out the icing. Tarbell battling for this one, turns, sends it back to the middle, shot there, deflects through and wide. Chavain looks up the ice. And we'll find Savicki, a 2-on-1 now for Lysander. Savicki from the side had it poked away. Hands over to Skellett. Skellett from the side tries to drive the net. It comes down to the middle. Shot by Spino was denied. Great save by Jordan, able to dive over and get that one. And it causes a 3-on-2. Tarbell will dump this one in as Massena gets some changes to get their lines back together following the penalty kill. Pass up the ice, held in by Collins. Collins brought down. They try to battle for this. Heindorf makes the pass up. Here's Spino. Gets around. Spino has it poked away and has to turn and regroup. Tries to dump it in. Able to initially get a by. Now it's just fired up here. 2-on-1 for Massena. They move on in. Collins. What a move. Collins in alone. And had it taken away there by the Buono. Everyone comes out the other way, looking to get a rush of his own going. He'll dump this one down in deep. Pearson in pursuit. Fired around the wall. And Massena will get this one out of the zone. DeBono's got to wait for everyone to vacate. Pearson trying to carry that one, and it's taken away by Horan, who sends this one down the ice, icing against Massena. Faceoff will come back into the Junior Raiders zone. And so Heffron now on the draw, matched up against Colin Castleman. Face off one to the side by Heffron. Castleman picks it up, and cahoots there with Fries trying to get that one out. Spino centers it. Nobody was there. This comes over. Heffron tries to step to that one. Castleman sends this up to the point. It's dumped back in, goes off the head of one of the Massena players, and now they'll try to skate this one on out. That's taken away by Spino. Spacino makes a move, and that shot there was denied. Heffron up to the point. Dillon down to Heffron. Heffron looking, and he didn't have anywhere to go there. Good job by Massena closing in on him. Spino sends that one to the middle. Here's Pearson shooting one. Save made there by Jordan. And it comes out the other direction. Massena into the neutral zones. Given away back to Dillon, who's ridden into the wall. Heffron picks it up. Tries to rush down low. Cuts to the middle. Fires one, which would have gone wide, but it was snagged out of the air by Jordan. .11:06 remaining in the second period. Ryan Wheeler was on the draw for Lysander, was taken by Massena and played up the wall. Joel Peters tries to send this one up. Heindorf engaged in a battle for this one. Someone's got to eventually get this out, and now Massena will carry this forward. That's intercepted now by Hawthorne, earning a big collision there. And now this will get sent down in. One of the Massena players there got tripped up. Lightning able to get away with that one, which occurred about a few seconds after a pretty big collision there. Now we'll get a penalty here upcoming on Lysander. It's going to be against Spino, not Spino. It's going to be against Hawthorne for a slash. But meanwhile, Massena trying to dig around for this one. Now we'll get a whistle as Lysander touches up. And now it'll be for a high stick, not a slash. Regardless, it'll still be a penalty here on Lysander. Hawthorne will go to the box. Face-off taken and won by Massena here. Trying to get this one around. Battled for. Sent up the wall. Here's Chavain. Chavain brings it forward. Into the neutral zone. Turning. Good move there by Chavain. And not with any help, though, as now Massena will just swarm in and take that one away. Here's Heb. Has a goal so far for the Raiders. Massena turns. Heb centering pass there. Did not go up at the point. Peters a drive in. Deflects on goal. Save made. And that's held by Austin. Had to track that one through a couple of deflections and quite a bit of traffic. Face-off taken in one by the Lightning here as they get this one out of the zone. 50 seconds remaining on the penalty kill. Here's Poirier back in his own end. Looking up ice. Sent up to Castleman. Chipped up. Tarbell cuts through, and that one did not go. Dillon dumps this one down in. Webb plays this one around in his own end. Webb brings it forward, and he'll carry this into the offensive, to the neutral zone. Has it poked away there at the last second by Skellett. Tarbell trying to bring this one in. Skellett picks it up, and now he's engaged in a bit of a 1v5. Walks over to the side and dumps it on in. Took a couple of bumps there from Massena trying to knock that one away. Spino there tried to intercept that, but now here comes the other direction. Long shot there from Tarbell goes wide. Heb on the side. Looking to the middle, that got blocked by Dillon. Caught her up high. And now a long pass up to Hevron. Hevron all alone on a breakaway. Has a back-checking defender coming. Save made there. That's great back-checked from Poirier to get it in there and cause the pressure, which caused him to panic. And also a great job by Jordan coming out and challenging him. Both of those factors combined just caused Heffron to panic there, and he loses possession. As I drop my hand warmer. There we go. Lysander nearly able to take advantage of a miscommunication by Massena as nobody was back to cover the player coming out of the box. And now this gets picked up by Massena, and here comes a 4-on-2. They move it into the offensive zone. From the side, Lysander able to get to that one, and it comes out the other direction. Shaken up behind the play is Heindorf. He's able to slowly get up. Let's get sent forward. And Massena nearly had a 2-on-1, but it was mishandled. Here's Dillon into the offensive zone. Has a few on her, and now tripped up by Poirier. It'll be a penalty against the Junior Raiders, and so Lysander back to the power play. And so it'll be Brody Poirier going to the box here for the Junior Raiders. And meanwhile in the offensive zone, it's Tommy Poirier for Lysander winning the draw. Played along the side. Battled on the wall, trying to get to that. Tripped up, and now we will get a lengthy 4-on-4. It's going to be Ryan Wheeler who will pick up a trip. And that's the end of the power play. And a face-off all the way down. Lysander will make a goalie substitution. In comes Sebastian Daigle. Face-off taken and won by nobody yet. They're still battling for it. Now Lysander will take this one out. Here is Heindorf into the neutral zone. Has Hawthorne with him. Heindorf from the side will try to bring this one around the back of the net. Looking. And now he will cut back, flip this one along down low. Hawthorne coming in now to try to get to this one. Good stick handling there by Massena. It gets sent up to the point. Attempt from DeBuono, did not have enough on it. Poirier on the wall, sends it up, intercepted by Collins. Collins brings it forward, looking for Horan. That would not go. Here's Hawthorne. Hawthorne sends this one in, save made, that's held. On the draw now for Lysander, Skellett matched up with Colin Castleman. Castleman wins the draw. Deviney actually able to get there first, or is making a move, and continues to carry this one along the boards. Looks for options. Tries flipping that one in the middle, gets sent around, up to the point. Dillon makes a move. Dillon cuts in. Shooting one save made there, it fell out loose, but the whistle will benefit Massena as that one dropped out of Jordan's glove. Skellett on the draw. Matched up with Castleman. Won by Lysander over to the side a little too heavily, actually. Got by everyone. And DeBuono comes from the point. Shooting one save made. Skellett drives in, and his shot deflects wide. Skellett there looking for his second of the day. DeBuono drives that one in, gets blocked. It's a brief power play for Massena as it's brought forward. Here's Poirier into the neutral zone. Gets through with room, makes another move. It's given over, the backhand goes wide. Big chance there. Just did not go. Dumped down in by Jake Maynard. Maynard again. A long flicker on that save made by Daigle, who holds. 6 minutes left in the second period. Just about over halfway gone in this game. 2-1 our score. All goals coming in the first period. Lysander with 2. And Massena with 1. Karsten Heffron on the draw against Mia Tarbell. Face off won by Tarbell up to the point. Long shot in, got blocked by Spino. That's a good job getting in front of that, and the bench shows their appreciation. Here's Heffron now bringing this side of the zone with speed. Heffron carries it forward, and the pass there just off target. Gets intercepted. Comes out the other way. Tarbell tries to bring this one forward. Battling for it. Tarbell continuing to battle with about 3 Lightning players. And now Lysander are able to move this forward, but it's picked up by Tarbell. Here comes Tarbell into the offensive zone. From the side, a shot there on that save made by Daigle, who ended up having to punch that one back out as it took a weird bounce off his pad. Here's Spino into the offensive zone. Has Pearson at center with him. Pearson picks it up, blows an edge, and it comes out the other direction. Gets chipped out of the zone. Heindorf has to wait for Lysander to get out. One of the Massena players goes flying over him. Couldn't read what number that was. Gets sent back down low. Over to Heffron. 4:53 left to go. Heffron's passing, nobody there. And now Spino ends up giving it over to Heffron, but that's a great job there by Hepp to get in the way of that. And Heffron lost all of his momentum there as he slid to his stop. Brought forward, here's Hebb. Makes a great move. Hebb from the side walks in, fires, save made. Back up to the point now. But now it comes out. Cook was being played there. This one's going to go all the way down. It's a desperation play to send it in. This one's going to go all the way down the ice. .426, 2-1 Lysander. On the draw was Wheeler. He won it, intended for Poirier, but could not get to that one. Now here's Horan bringing it forward. Horan with Dillon and DeBuono on him. Horan for the side, gave it over, but it did not go. Oh man, what a chance there for Parker Horan. Just had it poked away there at the last minute. Here's Wheeler from the side. Wheeler centering pass. It comes out to the point. DeBuono walks in, And anticipating the shot there was Collins, who did a good job making her rethink. Forced down is Poirier, and this comes out of the zone. Wheeler gives the other Poirier a shove. And this comes up the other direction into the offensive zone. Both Poiriers on the ice right now. Good job staying on side by Massena. Collins from the side, centering pass. Save made. Oh, was loose down in front. And now we're going to get a penalty. And they were both going to get a penalty regardless, so we'll see if that escalates anything. My guess is they both will probably pick up just a rough. So Horan and Poirier to the box. And now they're both going to, officials are discussing something here. Might be discussing whether any of them get anything extra. So we'll see. It looks like the faceoff will stay in the Lysander zone off the last play faceoff rule, and they'll both probably just pick up a roughing, so it'll be coincidental 5-on-5. Oh, no. So now Massena had 4 on the ice. Now they'll put out a 5th. Now they have 6. And now they have 5 again. And so Lysander is going to pull one off. I think Lysander is going to be on the penalty kill here. So waiting to see what ends up happening. And Lysander bench not happy about something. So there's 1:30 on the clock. So Massena is going to have a power play here for 1:30. And so Hawthorne will go in to serve. There's a weird sequence here. I believe what happened is that Poirier picked up a double minor somewhere in there. Either that or a minor misconduct, because there's 2 people in the box. So a bit unsure. Regardless, it'll be a power play here for Massena. There's 2 scenarios that could have happened there. I'll go over them here at the next stoppage. Battled for along the side. Massena looking to tie this game here with this power play. Shot comes in. Deflects. It's loose out in front. Oh, we get a whistle, but that puck was definitely loose. Lysander getting another lucky stoppage. It's the second one today that could have saved the goal. Face-off taken out to the point. I got blocked. And now here comes Lysander out the other direction. Moving it forward is Skellett, who takes a shot there. It goes wide. Chavain from the side. They battle for it. Locked in Chavain skate, and now they bring it out. Here's Poirier for Massena. Try to bring that one up. Skellett brings this one in. Skellett with room, takes it forward, and that did not go. And a battle for this one on the wall. A bunch of players falling down here. Chavain trying to step to this one. Poirier makes a move and went right into the official. Comes out the other way. Here comes Massena in the offensive zone. There's Poirier again. Brings it forward, and he will send this one on in. Ran into there by Dillon. This gets dumped down into the zone. Getting onto that is Chavain. Chavain, he comes up the wall. Now brought forward. Here comes Massena. Collins lost possession of it, and that'll be a saving grace for Lysander, as they would have been facing an odd-man rush. And this one comes in offside. And so that will do it for... So Poirier here is going to stay in the box, it looks like. But, all right, so it looks like since it's currently 5-on-5, what it looks like is going to happen here, it looks like Poirier picked up a minor misconduct, which automatically gave Massena an advantage even with their minor, since it was concurrent with the initial roughing, and then he picked up the extra after. So now the official's trying to figure out what goes on now. 2:04 left to go here in this second period of action. Still 2-1. Both teams for now have 5 on the ice, and now Lysander bench gets the explanation. Face-off taken in 1. Here's Spino. Tries to drive it forward. Spino picks it up, and he makes his way into the offensive zone. Has Hefron Savicki with him. Spino brought forward. He was brought down, and it comes out the other direction. A good job by Dylan there holding that one in. Heindorf turning, looking for room. Sent around. Cook tries to get on him. Heindorf turns, and he will fire this one down into the offensive zone. Spino in pursuit. From the side, makes a move on it. And now it's picked up by Massena. Sent forward to the point, comes out. And now here comes Massena, a breakaway. They move on in. It's Tarbell shooting. That goes wide. Oh, the best chance Massena's had. And now it's a rush for the Lightning. Hefron has it swiped away, but he picks it back up on the other side. Savicki wasn't able to handle it, and it comes down the other way. Tarbell brings it forward. Just had that breakaway. From the side, shooting one, deflected wide by the Buono. Heindorf, under a minute left to go in the second period. Lysander looking to maybe extend the lead here with this rush. Savicki into the offensive zone. Cuts, makes a move over to Hefron, who fanned on the shot. And it comes out the other way. Here's Carter Hebb from the side. Hebb turning to the middle, picked off by Savicki. Might have been looking for the point there, looking for a winger that wasn't there. Here's Hefron now. Moves in, cuts, shoots one, save made. Opted to try to weave between the defenders instead of going right to the net to try to buy himself some time. Now gets chipped on in, they score! What a weird sequence there. It's Ryan Wheeler, and that'll make this one 3-1. So the Lightning, out of all that, will extend their lead to 2. Big insurance goal. Still a whole period to play, but it's definitely going to be a good mark to go off here in the intermission. But not if Massena has something to say about it. Into the offensive zone. It was poked away. 5 seconds left for Hawthorne to do something. He walks through, loses possession, then turns and gets knocked over. And no call on that one. And so, physical game here between these two. Back to intermission. Well, we will have a look right now at the roster for the Massena Junior Raiders. Head coach Eric Cesut and assistants Jason Horan and Penny Peters. With that, we will take a brief break here on KSM Productions. Do not go anywhere. We welcome you back here to KSM Productions for the third period of action. 3-1 Lysander as we go into the third. Looking to close out their weekend with a victory. And immediately a penalty upcoming here to Lysander. It'll be Lachlan Dillon who will head to the box. And this is a smart play by Massena, letting their extra player get on the ice before bringing it in. Brought in from the side. Wheeler engaged in a bout for this. Lysander touches up, and we will get our sentence. It'll be Lachlan Dillon who heads to the box for a trip, and now Lysander picks up a penalty. Massena's penalty power play today. Believe this is their second or third on the day. And you can hear Lachlan Dillon's family and friends over there saying, "Good job, Lachlan," from the Lysander fans area. As she will wait out her minute 30 sentence. Massena looking to get this one back into a 1-goal game right now. This gets set up, and it goes out of the zone. Goaltender asks for an icing, and he will get it, as it was able to finally trickle all the way down. Sometimes the ice out here has a hard time carrying those pucks down the ice. It was able to there. 14:23 or 27 left in this third period of action. Face-off will be to Daigle's left. It's won by Massena, so they will now try to set up. Here's Poirier, a drive, save made. It was loose out in front, but Daigle was able to hold. And we'll get some changes here from the Lightning on their penalty kill unit. And 1 or 2 changes from Massena. Onto the ice is Heb, who has the goal today. Face-off taken and won. It's played now by Poirier. Sends it over. Heb makes a move. Chavain almost got to that. It comes over to Horan, a drive. That one is high and wide, but that was a very, very hard shot. And somehow DeBono's stick ends up on the ground out of all that. Face-off taken in 1. Heb trying to get to this. At the point, a drive deflects wide. Battled for there on the side. Looking for it now are the Lightning. Comes up to the point. Poirier's pass is completed. Shooting one, deflects, save made, rebound. Loose out in front. It's still loose out in front. And now Lysander able to pick it up and turn it around the other way. Heindorf battling through that one. They come together there on the wall. And now it comes out. Lysander's got to be careful. They don't pick up a retaliation penalty here, and they won't. That's a great holding by Heb. Heb a drive deflects wide. And this one gets chipped up the wall. Poirier at the point has time. He shoots one, deflects wide. Hit a Lysander body on the way in. Up to the point. Shot comes in. Save made there by Daigle, who has had a workout here on this penalty kill. Power play is now over. And now, here comes Massena again, the shot down. Save made, and we'll get some extracurriculars after that one. And Lysander's got to be careful. They don't pick something up here. Big pressure there from Massena. And it looks like there's going to be 1 penalty called here on each team. So they'll both pick up a roughing minor here. Lysander coaching staff wondering why they got one. I guess it was because Skellick got up and went after the kid after the play ended. I don't think there was any contact made during that. And the officials trying to keep this game under control. Hevron nearly took that one away at the point, but just a little behind. Sent to the middle. Heindorf turning, looking up. Heindorf looks up and finds Spino off a deflection off of Tarbell's leg. Spino brings it forward, tries to dump it in, does not go. Chipped alongside, it comes up, and it's turned out. And now here comes Massena into the offensive zone. Peters shooting one there, did not go through. Trying to get to that, but nobody was able to pick it up. Spino will end up driving this one out of the zone. Looking forward there was Haley, but it was nearly intercepted. Here's Tarbell from the side, shooting one, deflects wide. Tarbell still on this one. Massena been the dominant team so far in the third period. Hasn't reflected on the scoreboard quite yet, but now they're going to pick up a penalty here. It'll be on number 11, Joel Peters, who's going to go off here probably for a hook. Or no, it's going to be for interference. So just as I was saying that Lysander on to the power play once again. On the wall. Poirier fires it up. Dillon at the point. Shoots. That got blocked. Dillon again. Looking. Has DeBorno. DeBorno walks in. Fires. Deflects wide. Force down there was Hawthorne. Now gets sent to the middle, and the net, I believe, is knocked off. So that's why we'll get a whistle. 1:10 remaining in the power play for the Lightning. Big opportunity here to extend this lead. Hawthorne tries to shoot one. He kind of fanned on it. Fries tries to get in on him. It comes along the wall. Played there by Poirier, makes a move. Gets out. Here's Poirier. Walks up the wall, chipped forward. Poirier makes another hit, and a big collision there of Heindorf, who came in trying to hold that one in the zone. Now this gets directed down the ice, and it will not become an icing. Dillon along the wall, moves it forward. Dillon cuts through into the offensive zone now. Here's Lachlan Dillon. Cuts around, over to Wheeler. Wheeler came in looking 5-hole, and that was shut down by Jordan. Wheeler now trying to battle for this one. Comes up the wall, penalty upcoming to Lysander. Ryan Wheeler is going to pick up a body check here. And then Cole Hawthorne nearly takes out the ref by accidentally skating into him afterwards. Tension's definitely beginning to flare up here in this third period. 10:49 to go. And it is a 14-second 4-on-4. And on the draw now is Skellett, who was matched up with Timmy Baldwin. At the point, they battle for this, and now it's a 2-on-1 for Lysander. Moving on in, Chavain loses an edge, but gets back on his feet. He shoots, save made by Jordan. 4-on-4 is over, so it's a power play now for Massena. Skellett on the draw, it's 1. And now it comes out the other way. Here comes Massena, chipped around. Horan brings it in. Horan shooting one, save made there by Daigle. Held in by Massena at the point. Now Heindorf finds Savicki in the neutral zone. Savicki brings it forward. Has Peters coming back to try to play it, but Savicki ended up dumping it in before he could get to him. Turned around, trying to get out of the zone. Passed up to Horan. Horan sends it up. And here comes Baldwin into the offensive zone. Baldwin a drive, that one into the glove and held by Daigle. 9:52 left to go. Sebastian Daigle dancing a little bit to the song before the face-off. Now back to business. On the draw, 1. Horan trying to make a play on it. Here's Heindorf from the side. Heindorf turning, looking over, and now he will chip this one up, trying to get to Heffron. Heffron picks it up and moves forward, and now it's a 2-on-1. Heffron has Chavain, but there's a back checker on him. That's Horan. That's a great job by Horan getting there. Heffron felt the pressure and decided to let it go early. Gavin Jordan's played a great game so far for Massena. 3 goals allowed, but has stopped numerous really great chances. And the back checking also for Massena has been a forte today, as they've forced particularly Karsten Heffron a couple of times on chances that he had, such as that last one, into having to get rid of it before he would have liked to. It's a testament to the hard work of this Massena team here in the final game of this weekend. Here's Heffron from the side, sends it on, that save made, held. 9:06 left to go. And now we'll get a line change. Or no, yeah, we'll get a full cell change here for Massena. Lysander changes a couple of defenders. Heffron on the draw. Matched up with Mia Tarbell. We've seen this matchup quite a bit today. Tarbell wins that one. Point around the side, the Lightning pick it up, sent to the middle, intercepted by Cook. Cook goes the other way, has Pearson coming back onto her, and Tarbell tried to get that one forward. Here's Heffron now. From the side, Heffron turns around. Nowhere to go. Over, up to Dillon, that was nearly picked off. Heffron to De Buono. DeBuono has it taken away, and now here it comes the other direction. It's a 3-on-1, but a back checker coming back to help for Lysander. That was Pearson able to get in there. Great back check by Brady Pearson. Taking away the option. And now this comes forward. Heffron got a stick in there. Brought into the offensive zone. Lysander getting a line change here as they try to get fresh legs on the ice. 8:18 left to go. Still over half the period left to play. 3-1 Lysander. Lightning 2-goal lead. Yeah, it's brought forward by Massena. Webb makes a move, or excuse me, Heb made a move. It got deflected and became an offside as it went off a Lysander stick. Now on the draw is Wheeler, matched up with Colin Castleman. Cole Hawthorne there gets warned by the official on the draw. Have to back up a little bit. Dillon sends this one down in. Hawthorne in pursuit. Poirier with it for Massena. He will wrap around the net, and he will bring it forward. Poirier with speed, and he brings in the neutral ice. He'll get a rush going here for Massena. Cuts through the middle. Poirier, a shot. Save made, held by Daigle. 7:37 left to go. Face-off taken in one. Here's Dillon from the side. Dillon turning. Makes a good move, and now the pass comes up. Savicki trying to get on this. And Savicki brings it forward with speed, but the back check able to take that one away, but then Skelett immediately takes it right back, and he drives this one in, and it goes wide. Chavain. Comes around, comes up. And a collision there, and it's going to be a penalty. We'll see who this is on. I believe it's on Lysander. So the Lightning are going to pick up a body checking penalty here. It'll be against Jay Skelett. So a power play for Massena. 7:03 left to go. Big opportunity to get this one within one. Over to Poirier. Has time. Poirier shoots. It lands in the mass of people. A backhand attempt by Horan is stopped. And now some extra shoving at Heindorf. Oh, that's not going to. And you could hear the communication from the Massena bench telling their players to move out. They want this 5-on-3, and that's what they're going to get. That's a great job by the Massena bench. Good awareness. And Heindorf's going to pick up a penalty here. It's going to be probably roughing, I'd imagine. And so we get a 5-on-3. The penalty kill unit is Chavain, DeBuono, and Dillon. Up to the point. Poirier drives this one around down low. Heb on this one. Heb looks for options. Nearly got tripped up by the wall, but stays on his feet. Heb sends it through. Opportunity. Shooting. They score. And it's a 1-goal game. Styles Collins on that shot to make it 3-1. Or 3-2. I was close. My producer correcting me there. Well, that was a great setup by Massena. They were able to work that play around. And now the Lightning in a much tighter game than they would like to be in. And Massena with the momentum. This is sent over. They will get out of their zone and dump it back in. Collins sends this over. Horan tries to pick this one up. Chavain. Back around his own net. Still a power play for 53 more seconds. Skelett at the point. And he makes a move, but he gets stopped. This gets sent back up and sent down low. Chavain comes forward with it. And Chavain took a bit of a whack there. And now here comes Chavain into the offensive zone. Had it taken away, and this is going to be a rush over Massena. Poirier into the offensive zone. From the side, Dingles makes a move. Poirier still on it. Centering pass got blocked. DeBono from her own end. She will send this one up to the point, but it comes out. Here's Heb walking forward. Horan. Poirier walks on in. Poirier from the side makes a good move. Horan picks it up. Battled for their down low. And both these players got to be careful they don't pick up a penalty here. And now some more shoving going, and we'll get a penalty upcoming against Massena. They'll probably get it for the extra cross check, I'd imagine, at the end. Collins picks it up. We get a whistle, and we'll see who this ends up on. It'll be a cross check, or not cross check, it'll be a roughing minor against Styles Collins. So the goal scorer will head to the box, and it'll become a power play for Lysander. Lightning looking for a big insurance goal. One goal game, much closer than they would prefer it to be. Massena's been able to, only a 2-goal deficit that they were facing, but they've been able to constantly stay on Lysander throughout this whole game and finally break through. Here's Spino. Spino centering pass for Wheeler, did not go. Here's Cook, comes out the other way, and she will send this one down the ice, icing against the Junior Raiders. And now, 4:50 left to go. On the draw is Heffron, matched up with Tarbell. Heffron wins it, up to the point. Heindorf, across. Dillon makes a move. Dillon walks in, that got blocked. That's a big diving block for Poirier. The captain standing tall and also laying down because he had to slide in to make that block. .102 left on this power play for Lysander. Spino on the draw. It's one. Here's Poirier. Brings it up the wall. Picked up now by Lysander. Dillon behind the net. Looking over to Wheeler. Wheeler, a drive that got blocked on the way in. It bounces down to Hevron, who fanned on the shot. And now it gets whacked around by Colin Castleman. And now breaking this one down on the ice. Icing upcoming against Massena. If it makes it that far, which it won't. The Lysander ice strikes again. Seems to be a common theme in third periods of any game. The ice will start to not let the puck carry as much as it did earlier on. Oh, and a big collision there. And it looked inadvertent to me. It looked like Castleman just kind of ran into Spino. So Heffron and Spino will come off. Replacing them is Poirier, the Lysander Poirier, and Hawthorne. Poirier loses possession of it. He's got to get this in, but Wheeler a little late getting out of the zone. Offside. 3:50 left to go. 15 seconds left on the man advantage for Lysander. On the draw, here's Hawthorne turning, bringing it in, able to fight through some attempts to take that one away. Now it's cleared out of the zone. Heindorf looking. Heindorf sends it in the Wheeler. Wheeler turning out to the point. Heindorf sends it over. DeBorno has pressure coming, and that one, she was able to get the shot off, but that was nearly picked off there by Collins, who was coming right out of the box. Wheeler makes a move. Does not go. Battled for along the wall. Now it comes out the other direction. Here's Baldwin. Bringing it in. Looking to tie this one up. Baldwin makes a move. Taken away by Heindorf. Heindorf battling for this on the wall. They continue to battle for this. It comes forward. We get some pushing and shoving there. Still trying to get to this one. And it's picked up. Baldwin makes a move. DeBono got to it. Heindorf fires this past Fries up the wall. Haley sends it in. And a long drive on that there, turned away by Daigle. There's a move by DeBono. It's picked up by Massena. Turning shot attempt goes on that. It'll be stopped and held by Daigle. 2:33 remaining. And it's Skellett on the draw for Lysander. It's won by Massena, however. They battle for this on the wall, but DeBuono takes it away and fires up to Chavain. Chavain got lost in his skates, but Savicki comes up and brings in the offensive zone. Savicki cutting from the side. Skellett holds it in at the point. Skellett walks through to the middle. Oh, the stick handling did not get all the way through, but he had a couple defenders beat there. This one goes off the pad of Jordan, and Skellett plays it around, looking for options. Poirier picks it up. Poirier gets it by Savicki, but Savicki will pick it right back up. Sent over. That was Jake Maynard down low. Skellett, centering pass for Chavain. Could not go. And Massena will clear the front of the net. Wilson makes the pass up. That's intercepted and now sent over. Here's Horan into the offensive zone. Horan with Chavain in pursuit. Horan, that's a good move. Stays on it. And now will send the drive, but knocked himself down in the process. And here comes the other way. Here's Skellett into the offensive zone. Makes a move. Skellett from the side. Centering pass did not go. Out to the point. Dillon sends it down low. Battled for along the wall. And it's picked up, and the injured Lightning player down on the ice right now. It's continuing to bring it forward. Now he'll get back up. And so to discuss where the faceoff is, off the last play, I'd imagine it'll be in front of the Lysander bench. So it'll be a timeout called now by Massena. And so we will see what they will draw up. 3-2 our score. Massena parents thought that was a game clock. No, that is the timeout clock. So Lysander has to hold on for just over 1 minute. But with the way Massena's been getting odd man rushes in this period, it's definitely a strong possibility that they're able to get back and tie this one up. We'll see what they can do, trying to avoid their 7th loss on the season. Lysander looking to get their 19th win on the year. Both of these teams, very low tie total. .102 left to go, so no goalie not out quite yet for Massena. No, so the goalie is coming out. So empty net now, or not yet. They were indicating for him to come up, and he's slowly inching his way up. Now he will have to retreat back. Now he comes out. Now it's an empty net for Massena. Battled for along the wall. Castleman in on this one. Lysander just trying to kill time along the wall. Continuing to force this forward. And it's picked up by the Lightning. They try to turn this one up the wall, but Massena's there to meet them. Chavain tries to turn it up the wall again, and it killed off a good amount of time. From the side, Wheeler battling for this. It comes out, still there on the wall. 14 seconds left at the point. The shot, save made, it's held. And now Lysander pushing him out. 11 seconds left. A clearance here should do it, as long as it doesn't become an icing. Big face-off here. This will more or less decide the game if the Lightning are able to win the faceoff and get this one out. It is won by Massena. Throwing a bit of a screen there was one of the junior Raiders. It gets battled up there on the wall. Horn and a big hit, and that's going to be, and now we'll get some extra pushing after this one. So Lysander obviously will pick up the penalty. That's the end of the game, but it'll be put on the score sheet afterwards. And so Lysander will take this one. Final score, 3-2. And that's how this one will conclude. So the Lightning hang on. Will pick up their first win on the weekend. They go 1-1-1 this weekend. Massena coming back from their final game of their little trip. And this one finally, the officials and coaches will get together here following the game. And with that here, we will say farewell from Three Rivers Athletic Complex. Lysander takes down Massena, final score 3-2. They successfully defend home ice. And they've finished the weekend off 1-1-1. We will see you all next time. Goodbye.